Ready, guys?
Everybody rise, please.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, first on our agenda, Old Terrace Avenue. Notice is hereby given.
I'm just telling them, you can read it, I'm just telling them go to the podium.
Notice is hereby given that the Zoning Board of Appeals of the Village of Suffern will conduct a public hearing on Thursday, August 22nd, 2024 at 7:03 p.m. or as soon as thereafter as possible at the Suffern Village Hall, 61 Washington Avenue, New York, 10901 by J.N. Lewis Wilford, 12 Terrace Avenue, Suffern, New York, 10901, seeking the enlarged existing driveway within the front yard to more than 10 feet. The premises affected is situated on the south side of Terrace Avenue and is approximately 400 feet west of Woodland Drive. The property is listed on the Village of Suffern and Town of Ramapo tax maps at section 55.53-2-41. Okay, Mr. Lewis?
Yes?
You raise your right hand. Swear to tell the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, I do.
You do? Okay, what do you want to do, sir?
Okay, so when I bought the house, I realized that I only can park 2 cars, and then I have a big family. I was trying to see if I could make it bigger, so at least I can park 3 or 4 cars.
He wants to put 10 feet under that. It's small house. This.
Yeah, I mean, they asked the board what's anyone asked.
You can fit 2 cars there right now, right?
Right now I can only fit 2.
You have a little bus there?
Yes.
That little bus?
There's a little bus in the backing.
And a car?
Yeah.
All right, and anybody from the board got any questions?
Is there a door out the back of the house?
If what?
I went by the property and I noticed that on the driveway, at the end of the driveway, there is a staircase that goes down to the driveway.
Yes.
Is there another door that exits out the rear of the
What
house?
he wants to add.
No. There's not a door after that.
There's just the front door and the side door?
Front door and the side door, yeah.
If you put 10 feet next to the driveway that's there, you'll have like no front of your house. No grass, you'll have hardly any grass. It's a small house as it is.
What I see, the in front of the house is wide enough to just expand it to the left side of the parking. And then I will still have some grass under the tree.
Sorry,
No, you say, ask him. It doesn't really say.
How many feet is the front of your house?
Total feet in front
How
of
many?
the house right now?
The front of your house, yeah, the length of your house.
Front.
Not counting the driveway that's there.
Oh, so I don't really have that information on me.
So just to clarify, in the back of the house, there's no sliding glass door, there's no door at all in the back of the house?
No.
So many cars fit there now.
We did already, too.
That's it.
I just think if you put 10 feet more in front of the house, it'd be half, like, say there's 30 feet. You take 10 feet from there, there'd only be 20 feet of grass.
I felt it was very,
I think it would look terrible.
I do too. It was very congested.
Yeah,
and I
me
think
too.
it would look like just a blacktop front yard.
Yeah, that's right. I agree.
We'll open up to the public. Take a motion to-
Thank you. Open up to the public.
Oh, I have a question.
Oh, well, hold on.
I did come up to the property yesterday evening, and I guess I bumped into one of your tenants that was renting.
Yeah.
And I looked at the property, and I noticed that it extended past the porch in the back with the driveway. You can't not use that back there?
No, it's not gonna be wide enough.
It's not wide enough.
No.
Because I would have a concern about the aestheticness of the front of the property.
Yeah.
You know?
I have another question, but this is for my own information.
Sounds
Do you live there?
I couldn't move there because I didn't have enough parking.
Do you live there?
I was about to move, but when I realized I don't have enough parking space, I rented it out instead.
You rented it out?
Yeah, I rented. I have tenants live there because
You have tenants live there?
yeah, just because I didn't have enough parking.
All right, okay, thank you, thank you.
And how
No,
many-
but the reason why I couldn't move because I did not have enough parking space. That's why.
And how many cars do the tenants have, sir?
I'm sorry?
How many cars do the tenants have?
Right now I see they have two, one little bus and then a little small car.
Thank you.
Right, I was asking some questions to one of the tenants. I was trying to find you, because I thought you were there at the residency, until I realized that that wasn't the case. And the other, tenant he was parked out in the front of the, in the front of the property.
Yeah.
So,
Okay, thank you.
All right,
Make a motion to open it up.
Make a motion, open up to the public.
Second.
Okay, aye. Anyone?
favor? Aye.
All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Anybody want to speak from the public in his behalf or against?
Allison Princiata, 10 Terrace Avenue. I'm right next door.
Raise your right hand. Swear to tell the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes.
I'm sorry, your name again?
Allison Princiata, 10 Terrace.
Allison.
I didn't get the last name, I'm sorry.
PR.
Oh, Princiata, sorry, thank you.
are you across the street?
No,
or next-
I'm right next door.
Okay.
The driveway's right on, that's, one of my questions is there going to be a survey if this goes through? Because right now, the driveway's right on the property line.
On yours.
Yes.
So yours to the right of his house?
Well, facing the street, I'm to his left. Or if
Okay,
you're
all right,
facing-
okay, you're to the left, okay.
And there's also a shed in the back of the property that's on the property line. And it was there when we moved in there, and obviously was there when he bought it.
Okay,
But I wouldn't want any more encroachment on my property. There's a fence up there, there's shrubs, and there's a drainage problem in the back of my property, I think, from that shed that's sitting on the property line.
Okay.
The backyard floods.
Position is on the 10 feet. What's your position on the 10
What's your
feet?
position on the 10 feet in front of the house? What do you think of that? Don't forget, it's going to be
It's
black
going to
top.
go the other way, from what I understand. It's not, it can't come my way unless it's on my property.
Going the other way, it's going in front of his house.
Yeah.
But then it'd be
I think it might make drainage worse. I don't know. I'm not an engineer.
yeah.
There is a plan if you want to look at it at the clerk's office.
But, I'm concerned, the way it is now, it's on my property line already.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you. Anyone else want to speak from the public? Motion to close the public hearing? Aye. Aye.
All in favor?
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Anybody else want to speak on the board? Anybody want to make a motion?
Well, before you do, just to be clear, there was a similar application recently, right, that the
we
board
denied.
denied.
Yeah, we denied it.
Okay, I just want the applicant to know that it's not out of the blue.
We're well aware.
Okay. Well, I don't know if anybody wanted to discuss it before a motion was made or whatever.
No, I don't think that it would look good, the front of the house. I think it would look like one of, says it's congested. I don't think it would look good for the front of the house, for the neighborhood. So, and I would deny this. else want to say anything?
I second it.
Okay, well, there's no motion made yet, but.
All right.
You know no, there's no, I don't know if anybody else wanted to say anything before it went, just because if the board's inclined to grant it or not grant it, we just need to.
Sorry, is there a motion to approve
Or
the
vote.
applicant as stated?
No.
There is no second.
Oh, I want to make a motion to disapprove, deny this application.
I second that.
Second. Yeah, everybody in favor? Aye. Aye. Everybody's in favor.
So, and that will be subject to a formal written decision that will be prepared, and the board will vote on that at the next meeting as well. But obviously, the board needs to go through the criteria for an area variance, whether it could create an undesirable change in the neighborhood, and whether there's some other alternative, and whether it's self-created, et cetera, all of the criteria. But that is something that the board is taking into consideration. So, I'm sorry, the motion was by?
The motion was denied.
By Barry.
Seconded by Lisa.
Lisa, thank you. Okay. Okay, so that's it for that.
Okay, thank you, guys. All right, number 2 on our agenda, 20 Sagamore Avenue.
Do you have your notarized?
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon, evening. Hi.
Hi.
I feel like a real adult now, you know, going where the zoning board.
Especially when you bring kids with you.
Just make sure you speak up and into the microphone, please.
Sorry,
Not yet, not yet.
Not yet.
You can move the microphone down if it helps.
not yet.
Notice is hereby given that the zoning board of appeals of the village of Suffern will conduct a public hearing on Thursday, August 22nd, 2024, at 7:05 p.m. or as soon thereafter as possible at the Suffern Village Hall, 61 Washington Avenue, Suffern, New York, 10901, on an appeal by Moshe Rosenbaum, Amsel, 20 Sagamore, Suffern, New York, 10901, to permit the use variance for the construction and maintenance of a 10 by 24 shed accessory structure. The approval of such an appeal requires a variance from the requirement of section 266-15G1C, in which the floor area of each accessory structure will not be more than 100 square feet, as well as variances from the requirements of section 266, columns 6, 7, and 8. Side yard required 20, proposed 5 feet. Total side 40 to 29. Rear yard 40, proposed 5. The premises affected is situated on the north side of Sagamore Avenue and is approximately 400 feet east of Stockbridge Avenue. The property is listed on the Village of Suffern and Town of Ramapo tax maps as section 55.79-1-1.
I just want to point out, I think there was a typo. It says to permit the use variance. It should say to permit the construction and maintenance of a shed. This is not a use variance.
All right.
It's for area variance.
To permit the construction and maintenance. Mr. Rosenbaum, raise your right hand. Swear to tell the whole truth, nothing but the whole truth, so help you God?
I do.
Okay, one of you go ahead and speak.
So I'm going to talk about the shed.
What's your name?
Oh, Jamie Rosenblum Amsel.
Jeannie?
Jamie?
Jamie.
Jamie.
Never mind, my husband wants to start.
You got to speak into the mic. We can't hear you without the mic.
Sorry. Just a little bit of background. I think it's important. This is Tarek. Say hi. I'm a paramedic here in the town of Ramapo, serve the village of Suffern 3 nights a week. My wife is a probation officer. I'm also an accountant and business advisor. We're a three-job household. We have 4 children. 2 of our kids are right now at football practice and cheer practice at the high school. You're helping me. You're doing a great job.
Youth cheer practice.
We were previously residing in Earmont, but we started off in the village of Suffern when we first got married on Riverside Drive as tenants. We lived in a high ranch on 21 Annette Lane in Earmont, and we didn't fit in the house. All our stuff didn't fit in the house with 4 kids. I actually have 3 grown daughters from my first marriage, so we were a very busy household. We purchased We purchased a shed for that house. It's 20 feet by 10 feet, and it's currently still at that home. The buyers of our house were kind enough to allow us to keep it there until we were done with this until we were able to have this proceeding. But we moved into the village, and we are extremely lucky with the house that we found, the street that we live on. Our kids have made fast friends with the neighbors across the street and to the sides of the houses. My wife's gonna say what she wants to say about the shed, but I think it's important to note that we care very much about the community. She's the co-president of the elementary school, the combined elementary school PTA coming up in R.P. Connor and Cherry Lane, and we dedicate our lives to the community. We want nothing more than the beauty of our neighborhood. As a matter of fact, nothing to do with the hearing tonight. We're in the middle of a beautification project on our property. The previous owners had just let it become run down with all kinds of overgrown brush. We wanted to flatten the land and allow our kids to be able to play in it, and that's been going on over the last 6 weeks. And we've put a lot of effort into improving what the property looks like and how it affects our neighbors. We've been really careful in the whole process to make sure that anything that affects our neighbors that they know about it, that we communicated with them. As a matter of fact, for the motion tonight regarding a shed, we've communicated with the neighbors directly to the right and left of our house, as well as all 3 houses across the street, and made sure that they all were okay with it before we even came before you. You wanted to say something about the shed?
No, I mean, what we're going to use, what we plan on using the shed for is children's toys, the bikes, so that we could park in the garage. We were never able to park in our garage before, so we're looking forward to hopefully being able to do that. And then if the kids' toys can then be in the shed, we just bought the shed pretty recently, so for us to then have to purchase a smaller shed would be a very big expense, not to mention we would lose the money that we put in to the old shed. So it's really just a money thing for us. We would totally get the smaller one if we could, but it would cost a lot of money. I'm sorry. Okay. You want to turn? Yeah.
I do want to speak to the technicality of the request, and I'm just going to read off the narrative that I prepared in my application to the Zoning Board of Appeals in response to the decision of the Building Department of the Village of Suffern to deny the construction of a 10-foot by 20-foot shed, which, by the way, the announcement had a 24-foot. I just want to make sure we take off those 4 feet. It might make a difference to somebody here. 10-foot by 20-foot shed on the R15 residential lot located at 20 Sagamore Avenue in the Village of Suffern, also known by tax ID 55.79-1-1. I'm requesting a variance of the building codes as detailed below. Section 266-15G1C specifies that an accessory structure cannot exceed 100 square feet. I have a family of 6 with a very healthy, active life that includes full use of our backyard for all kinds of play. I need a place to store all our yard items. We have slip-and slides and blow-up slides, water slides, and sleds for the winter, and shovels, and all of those things that a single-family home should have. I recently purchased the property and moved from the neighboring village of Earmont, where I'd constructed a 10-foot by 20-foot shed. I already own the shed, and it cost me approximately $8,000. If I cannot move the shed to the new property, I will have to dispose of it, causing me significant financial harm. Furthermore, the ability to maintain...
We heard enough, really. You don't have to read anymore, okay? Thank you. Thanks a lot.
I have a question before we start.
Okay.
Jamie,
Yeah.
what probation department are you affiliated with?
Westchester County?
Okay, I may have to recuse myself.
No, you don't.
No? Because I had a working relationship with Westchester, and I do believe I know this.
Yeah, if you want.
Yeah,
You don't have to, but if you want.
There's no monetary gain if you don't have to.
You don't have to, right? You don't have
He
to.
does not have to.
You don't have to. You don't have, there's no reason.
It's up, if you feel like you should, you can, but if you're
yeah, I
asking
just
me, you
don't want to have any
to.
impartiality towards the
Okay,
decisions.
all right,
So I have
all
a
right.
point.
Okay.
So if you're recusing, you're really supposed to,
Leave?
Yeah.
Yeah, I will.
sorry.
Yeah, no
I know it's harsh, but
I
that's-
didn't realize
No, that's
who
okay.
she was. I'm sure we've had many conversations on the phone. You may recall.
Want to tell them when the next meeting is? Melissa, the next meeting? Just like
I don't work in Rockland because I don't want to work where I live.
Yeah, like I said, I just don't want to, have anything, any issues.
This is the last one, is
I'd like to make a motion to open the public hearing.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
it? All in
Anybody-
favor?
All in favor, aye. Anybody want to speak from the public that's sitting out there? Jack, you want to speak? No? Okay. All right, motion to close the public hearing.
Motion.
Wait,
Aye.
I think,
Aye.
Aye. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Jamie, Ed?
We initially gave in plans of the location on the property where the shed would be. After they cleared all the brush and we were able to see the full property, we decided we wanted the shed in a different spot. I have the updated plans for you. It doesn't change the request. It's still 5 feet off of the property line, but I want to just give that to you.
So where is it?
it's where I showed you, right at the front right, like by the garage. It's just, it's closer to the driveway so that we could let the cars and,
Have you ever considered locating it in the back of the house, the shed?
So we had it in the back of the house on Earmont Road, and we never went to it because, especially in the winter, we had to go through all the snow. The kids had to then trek, the bikes from the back through the grass. It was inconvenient, so it didn't get used as much. So we were thinking if it's right next to the driveway, it would be easier to put away the toys quickly rather than having to put it all the way in the back.
It's also a function of the age of our kids. So our son is 8, our daughter is 7. They're at the age where they can start being self-sufficient. If we tell them, go ride your bikes, and the shed is all the way in the back of the house, there's less likelihood that they're going to go and take it out and trek it across the property to go and play. So it's just a matter of function for us as well.
I'm asking that question because we received a letter from a neighbor of yours, and one of their concerns was the impact on the neighborhood character, whereas the majority of the sheds are in the rear of the property as far as the neighborhood character goes.
In response to that, the shed is an accessory structure. There's a number of homes on our street and three of the surrounding streets that have an accessory structure that's used as a garage for their car, which is right at the top of the driveway. It's the same character for the neighborhood.
But you have two-car garage on your driveway and an accessory too, so it's different than the neighbors.
I understand, but if you look at the picture of the shed, it looks very similar to the structure that a garage would be. So it's very normal to have a structure like that at the top of the driveway. Listen, if the only way to get this approved is to put it in the back of the property, then we'll do that. We're not.
Okay,
If that's what you want, we're okay with it. It certainly would be easier for us if it was in a new location.
I have a question. So, I understand, I mean, you partially answered it by saying that this had been all overgrown, and now you've cleared it out. I see the equipment there, and that the yard is just all raw earth. So what are your plans in the back there? Is this just going to be grass? Is there a patio going in? Is there other structure going on in the back of the house other than what we can see now, which is just dirt?
So there is a patio, which was part of our plans. They already installed it. That was part of our plans that we dealt with upstairs in the...
It replaced a deck that was already there. So there was a concrete deck that's on this survey that says raised patio. That's actually a concrete deck that was a slab on the property. When in part of the process of flattening the yard, we demolished that concrete deck, and it's now a paver patio. It's not raised. It's you walk out the back door and you walk right onto the patio. Other than the patio, our intention is to put a play set, a swing set for the children, and we may eventually want to put an above-ground pool at some point. But the property will be all seeded and grass growing there. It'll also have a fence around the entire perimeter for the safety because of the retaining wall that went in, as well as to keep our kids and our dog safe and sound.
So is that all that was all the dirt that was there, or you brought in fill?
They may have brought in one truck, but really what we did was we took it was a slope like this, so we took down from the top and raised the bottom, and so most of the dirt came from the top and went to the bottom.
So you built a retaining wall on the one property line?
Correct. It's not on the property line. It's actually it's 16 feet back from the property line, because if we went to the property line, it would have had to be a 10-foot wall. So we didn't want to go over the 4 feet, so we lost some of our property in the process, but...
Do you want me to note this? So just for the record, there was a letter from a France Marine from 7 Sunderland Place, Suffern, dated Monday, August 12th, saying, I'm writing on behalf of a 5-member family to express our concerns regarding the variance. We believe it should be denied. And it's part of the record, but I'll just put it in. It undermines zoning regulations. Granting the variance could undermine the purpose of the regulations, which are essential for preserving the character and status of the neighborhood. Approving the variance could set a precedent for future requests to exceed the size limits for accessory structures. Potential for misuse. A larger accessory structure might be used for purposes beyond what is typically intended, such as living space. Potential for overdevelopment, although the variance could encourage overdevelopment of the property, and allowing this variance could encourage overdevelopment of the property and surrounding areas. The impact on neighborhood character may not fit in with the existing homes, property value concerns, fairness and equity. It just says, for these reasons, I respectfully urge the ZBA to deny the variance request. And so that's the sum and substance of the letter, but I just wanted to make sure that was in the record.
Interestingly, that street backs up to the rear of our property, so I assume that that's one of our backyard neighbors. I imagine that they might prefer that the shed be closer to our driveway than their yard, but...
I personally would like to see the shed be in the rear of the house, in the backyard.
I agree. I would say that if you wanted to put it in the configuration that you show here so that the doors face the street, I don't have an issue with that, but I do think it should be in the back corner, 5 feet off the back and 5 feet off the side. Originally showed it sideways.
Well, what do you think about that?
Look, we're here asking for permission, so we're gonna do whatever you tell us and whatever you let us. It's not ideal for our family, but it is what it is. I mean, we roll with the punches, clearly.
Well,
If we could get the approval, if there's anything that we could do to get the approval to put it,
If that's what everyone's asking for, yeah.
if there's anything that we can do, like if we can, speak to other neighbors or get a petition, like if there's anything that we could potentially do to get you to agree for it to be by the driveway, it would make it a lot easier for us. Funny story. I wanted it back there.
you want it back there.
I wanted it in the back. That was originally what I said, because I was like, then we have the whole use of the whole property. My dad, who helped us buy the shed, was like, you're crazy. We're thinking about it, we're doing it, and I was like, somehow it hit me.
They want to come back and put it.
We're never going to use it if it's back there. And it's going to wind up being just for our, excuse the language, crap. Like, that's what we're going to use it for, because we're never going to use it. And it's going to be a waste. Today, my kids were playing on the driveway with the neighbor, and I have, like, all my toys, all my stuff right there, and I'm thinking about how...
That's good.
Sorry.
Thank you. All right, anybody else want to say anything? And anybody agree? I agree with Lisa.
Just two things real quick. First of all, if it does go where I showed on the new map, the doors would be facing the road.
Right, I don't have it. I think that aesthetically is the natural way for it to look. I mean, but I do think it should be in the back corner.
Okay. And then
It's enough, we had enough with you.
one more thing. So, in anticipation of an approval, which we shouldn't have anticipated, but still, you're optimistic. We did tell the person doing the project that that's where we intended the shed to go. There was some site prep at that location done. I have no idea whether that's going to cause us any sort of financial cost, but that's on us for moving forward with that without your approval. So, but I just want you to note that as well.
Okay.
Are you pouring a foundation, or is it, no?
No.
This is being delivered and put on?
Correct.
Oh,
So
okay.
the shed guy is able to move
coming
it,
off a
he just
roll.
loads it on a trailer and brings it over.
Yeah, so it's no, yeah,
So,
that's no big deal.
make a motion?
Yeah.
So I make a motion to approve on the condition that it's in the back right corner, facing in, with the doors facing out, 5 feet off the back, 5 feet off the side.
I second it.
Well, and just one thing.
The back right corner, the shed,
Hold on.
Well, no, I was going to say, this is a type 2 action under secret, so there's no need for further environmental review. That's part of the motion. Go ahead.
Go ahead, continue, Lisa.
the doors are on the long way.
It's okay.
No, but that's what he's asking. Let him finish.
According to the picture, the doors are on the short end, right?
Right, correct. So if it goes, so you're saying in the back corner, the first plan had it going the long way
Right,
across
so
the
you
back.
can turn it.
You're saying have it face the front.
I actually wouldn't have an issue with it either.
It's enough, we got enough from you, please. Go ahead, Lisa, continue.
No? It was already seconded, correct? Yes?
Yeah.
So the condition is that it's in the back right corner, lengthwise, with the doors facing Sagamore. That's what you're approving?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes?
That's the motion.
All approved?
So those are the conditions of the approval.
I'm opposed.
Okay.
All approved?
What, do you want
So
to make a difference?
why don't we do a roll call?
Don't
You
approve?
think it should be at the
I
driveway?
do not approve.
All right, so just do a roll call.
Okay. Bruce?
No.
Lisa?
Yes?
Yes.
Cary, yes.
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 Yes. Okay. So it's approved. Okay?
It's approved with those conditions, that it's
those conditions.
lengthwise with the doors facing Sagamore.
Okay, does the approval, so there were two different zoning codes that were an issue? Are both of those
Right. It would be for
variances
all-
approved?
There was actually three.
Yeah,
You'll get it in writing.
okay.
It was three. It would be the floor area ratio, the size being too big, and then the side yard, total side yard and rear yard are granted. But again, when you go to the building department, the approval will indicate these numbers, so that's where you're going to have to put it. You know what I mean?
You gotta be able to walk around.
Yeah, I want to make sure that it also includes the development coverage percentage.
I don't have that on the,
So we were already over the percentage with whatever was there, which we found out when we went to do a survey. There was no survey when we bought the house. It probably was grandfathered in. But now, with the shed there, that would continue to encroach on that percentage. Now, the property is one of the larger lots in the village of Suffern.
well, hold on. The building inspector has not said, we have the denial dated July 3rd. Just says the floor area of the structure and the side yard, and the total side yard. So where did he say, or somebody say it was development coverage also?
Yeah, it was not listed in the denial. But with what? With our other projects that we were doing, they required us to do a survey and to get plans, and then that's when we realized what the coverage was. I mean, the building department just didn't have those figures when we submitted the plans, because we only gave them, when we submitted it, well, the only survey we had was the land survey before the house was built.
It's gotta be bulk and size.
Oh,
right?
wait, what other work are you doing on there?
What other work are you doing in the backyard?
We were leveling the yard and building the retaining wall.
Yeah. We have.
So, is that on a separate permit? We can't
Correct,
just give a
correct.
blanket.
It's a separate-
Here's what I'm saying, just wait. You can't just give a variance where we don't have anything on it. We don't have anything saying you need that variance. So if you have to straighten it out with the building department, and if you're doing something else, you know, come back. But you know, and I don't know if it's an error on his part or where that came from. What's the date of the survey?
The date of the survey?
June?
June 26th.
And that shows the house.
Yeah, so the only reason, my husband went through everything and wanted to make sure that there were no issues. So when he went through all the laws and everything, he realized that there might be a coverage problem. When in investigating that, the house itself had a coverage problem. Like, it was already, however it was built, was already a problem. So we're not really asking for that much more, we're just asking that whatever the problem was, that it now be allowed, because now we're adding the shed.
Right. The board has nothing in front of it about that, though. There's nothing from your architect or your surveyor or anybody, so I don't, they can't just give a blanket.
It was in the paperwork that we submitted.
Okay, no. I understand what you're saying, and they didn't deny it because of that, so I guess we just leave that alone.
Look, it may be inconvenience, but if, when you go in for the building permit, they say, oh, now that we see this, you need the lot coverage, you know, you can come back, they won't make you do another fee or anything, you know, just take care of that, but I think you'd have to see it.
But if we're gonna give him permission to put the shed up and then he has development coverage issues, the shed's already up.
No, he can't put the shed, he's got to go to the building department to get the building permit. The issue will come up I'm,
So should we
It's
table it?
it's also very possible that the shed won't even be counted as development coverage because it's situated on pieces of wood and it's open underneath. I put it into here because I wanted to prevent any issue after the approval of them saying, okay, but now you're over the variance coverage. But if you're saying that that's not how it works, it's fine. Like, we can just go.
no, I'm just looking behind. When you say you put it in, I don't see it in the narrative. Was it in the narrative?
Yeah, it's in the second paragraph of the narrative. And it's also, the coverage percentages are also on the plan I submitted.
I hadn't heard about it. This is the first one. Either you can table it or...
Right.
Right.
So,
Right. So that's what the variance is being granted, but he's saying there's another variance that he needs.
okay, so, excuse me, so on the survey here, he's got development coverage calculations.
I don't
And
have
it's
it.
showing that he's already over the coverage and now adding another 10%. So
I
that
don't
would have been an
have- oh.
additional variance required.
We'd have nothing from the building department, but it is on
So the
there.
building department missed this. So should we rescind and then ask him to come back to get all of the variances covered at once?
Well, I mean, if it is here, and this is what he's saying, I suppose you could grant it. I didn't know we had the numbers.
So you want it, can we grant it?
Yeah, I mean, if the board is comfortable with granting it, you can grant it. You can include it as part of it. If you want to hear back from the building inspector, you can do that.
I would like to hear from the building inspector.
All right.
Okay.
All right. So why don't we take a motion to table it, adjourn it for a month, go back to the building inspector and show them this with these numbers,
And then get it all.
and get another denial, and it'll get taken care of in one fell swoop.
Would we then have to wait until next month? Because
Yes.
if we have to wait till next month, we might not be able to keep our shed. I know that's not your problem.
It's almost like we tried to cover all our bases, but now we created a new challenge that, I mean, we have the property owner that bought our house who's allowing the shed to be there, was hoping that it was going to be off. He's putting renters in his property. I don't know if we're going to be able to continue to keep it there. The fence that we're installing is going to have to be taken out to put the shed in. So, tabling it for a month is going to cause us to incur additional costs.
No, either you vote on it tonight or you put it over, so.
Do you think we should go into executive session and decide?
I think we should.
Well, not decide anything, but you can go in executive session to meet with counsel.
Yeah.
I'd like to make a motion to go into executive session to discuss the matter at hand
Well, with counsel.
with counsel.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
So Bruce, Cary, and all. Okay. So, well, we asked them to step outside.
You have to step outside and we're going to go to executive now. Thank you.
So we'll take a motion to come out of executive session. Somebody want?
So moved.
So Bruce made a motion to come out of executive session, second. Cary, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, you get that, Melissa? Bruce made a motion to come out, Cary, second, all in favor. Okay. All right. Do you want me to speak, or? Yeah. All right, so the board, as you saw, had some concerns. I think what they would prefer is, since there are some change conditions with the patio also, and the retaining wall, so I think the intention is to continue this to the September meeting. Why don't you go to your surveyor and ask him to update the survey for existing conditions? Maybe put the shed where the board is inclined to approve it, and then go back to the building inspector and say, hey, this is what we're doing, and mention the coverage issue, and then have him issue a new denial, and then they'll address it on the 19th. Do you have any questions?
Do we need to do another application?
No,
or
no,
another
no, no.
announcement or any of that?
They're just continuing the hearing based on everything that happened. You don't have to renotice it. This public hearing that already started is being continued, so we'll just pick it up from there. But, so tomorrow your first call is to your surveyor, and then as soon as you get it, run it into the building inspector and explain everything and say, look, the original denial didn't have the development coverage, and we've since added the retaining wall and whatever's in the back, the patio, and then go from there.
What's the date of the next meeting?
September 19th, 7 p.m.
Okay?
Okay.
Okay, so I guess it would be appropriate for a motion to adjourn, or continue the matter to September 19th, and withdraw the previous motion.
I'll make that motion.
Second?
Who's second? Lisa, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, so it's continued to the 19th. Got your marching orders.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
All right, thanks.
Are we able to potentially revisit the placement of the shed at that meeting?
Why don't we talk after? The meeting, your matter is closed. If you want to talk after, I'll talk with you outside, okay?
Okay, thank you.
So you want to adjourn to the next? Oh, do you have minutes or anything?
Approve the minutes from July 18th.
I make a motion to approve the minutes.
I second. Everybody in favor?
Aye.
All in favor?
And then you could close the meeting because we already have.
Motion to close the meeting,
Second.
September 19th.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you, everybody.